There's a quiet mistake happening every single day, in kitchens, in snack bowls, in late-night habits. And most people over 60 have no idea it's slowly draining their strength. It doesn't feel dangerous. In fact, it feels healthy. A handful of nuts. Simple, natural, even recommended. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Some of those healthy nuts you've trusted for years may actually be working against your body, silently increasing inflammation, stressing your heart, and even affecting your sleep and energy levels. And the worst part? The damage doesn't happen overnight. It builds slowly, quietly, until one day your body just doesn't feel like it used to. So let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, eating healthy, avoiding junk, but still feeling tired, stiff, or weaker than you expected? If yes, you're not alone. And today, we're going to uncover something that most people never realize until it's too late. Which nuts are secretly helping you stay strong after 60? And which ones you should stop eating immediately, no matter how healthy they seem. Before we go further, I want you to pause for a moment and think, what's your go-to nut? Almonds, cashews, peanuts? Drop it in the comments, because by the end of this video, your answer might completely change. Now here's where things start to get surprising. As we age, our body doesn't process food the same way it used to. The same snack that gave you energy at 40 can quietly create inflammation at 65. The same handful of nuts that once felt harmless can now impact your heart, joints, and even your brain. Research has shown that after 60, your metabolism slows down, your digestion becomes more sensitive, and your body becomes more reactive to certain fats and compounds. And this is where the difference between the right nuts and the wrong ones becomes critical. Because not all nuts are created equal. Some are powerful allies, others silent saboteurs. Let's start with something most people don't realize. Not all healthy fats are healthy for you anymore. Yes, you've heard it for years. Nuts contain good fats. And that's true. But what most people don't realize is that the type of fat, the quality, and even how the nut is processed makes all the difference. And this is where things change. Because after 60, your body becomes less forgiving. It doesn't just process, it reacts. Imagine a 72-year-old man named Ahmed. He eats a handful of roasted, salted peanuts every evening. He believes he's doing something good for his heart. But over time, he starts feeling more bloated, more tired. His blood pressure creeps up slightly. Nothing dramatic, just off. He never suspects the peanuts, because no one ever told him that not all nuts are equal. Now, let's uncover the first category, the nuts you must eat. And the first one might surprise you. Walnuts. There's a reason walnuts look like a brain. And no, it's not just coincidence. Studies have shown that walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, the kind your brain desperately needs as you age. But here's what most people don't realize. After 60, your brain naturally starts to shrink slightly. Your memory slows. Your focus isn't as sharp. And this is where walnuts quietly step in. They help reduce inflammation in the brain. They support blood flow, and they may even slow down cognitive decline. But here's the key: only a small handful, because too much, even of something good, can backfire. And this brings us to an important point we'll come back to later. Quantity matters more than you think. But don't get too comfortable yet, because the next nut on the must-eat list is often misunderstood. Almonds. Now, you might be thinking, wait, I already eat almonds. But here's the part most people get wrong. It's not about whether you eat almonds, it's about how you eat them. Raw or soaked almonds can support heart health, improve cholesterol levels, and even help maintain bone strength. But roasted, salted, flavored almonds, that's a completely different story. And this is where many people unknowingly cross the line from healthy to harmful. And this is where things get even more interesting, because the same almond can either help your body or slowly stress it, depending on one simple detail. We'll come back to that shortly. Now, let's shift gears for a moment, because what you're about to hear next is something most people never expect. Some of the most popular nuts in the world are the ones you should never touch after 60. And number one on that list is something millions of people eat daily: peanuts. Yes, peanuts. Now, before you react, let's look at the reality. Peanuts are technically not even nuts, they're legumes. And while they're cheap, accessible, and widely consumed, they come with hidden risks. Peanuts are more prone to contamination with aflatoxins, natural toxins that can stress the liver over time. And after 60, your liver is already working harder than it used to. But here's where it gets even more concerning. Many peanuts are heavily processed, roasted in unhealthy oils, and loaded with salt. So what you think is a healthy snack becomes a slow burden on your body. But don't worry, because not everything is off limits. In fact, the next nut we're about to talk about might be one of the most underrated power foods for seniors, and almost no one eats it enough. Pistachios. Small, simple, but incredibly powerful. They're rich in antioxidants, support eye health, and help regulate blood sugar. And here's something fascinating. Studies have shown that pistachios can actually improve vascular health, meaning better blood flow and better heart function. But here's where things change again. Salted pistachios? Different story. And this pattern keeps repeating. The difference between benefit and harm often comes down to processing. Now pause for a second, because this is important. How many of the nuts you eat are roasted and salted? Be honest, because that one habit might be quietly undoing all the good. And now, let's talk about one of the nuts you should be very careful with: cashews. They're creamy, delicious, and incredibly popular. But here's what most people don't realize. Cashews are higher in certain fats that, when consumed in excess, can contribute to weight gain and sluggish digestion, especially in older adults. And if they're roasted and salted, the problem multiplies. But here's the twist. Cashews aren't bad. They're just easy to overeat. And this is where awareness becomes power. Now here's something most people never think about. Your body after 60 is not just aging, it's adapting. And what it needs most is balance, not extremes, not trends, not superfoods taken in excess, just balance. And this is where the final part becomes crucial. because even the best nuts can become harmful if consumed the wrong way. Imagine someone eating almonds, walnuts, and pistachios daily, but always roasted, always salted, always in large amounts. They think they're doing everything right, but over time, their blood pressure rises, their joints feel stiffer, their energy dips. Not because nuts are bad, but because the balance was lost. So here's the real takeaway. It's not about cutting everything out. It's about choosing wisely. Small portions, raw or lightly processed, variety over repetition, and awareness over assumption. Before we wrap this up, let me ask you one more thing. Which of these surprised you the most? Was it peanuts, cashews, or the truth about roasted nuts? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about nuts. It's about understanding your body, respecting its changes, and making small decisions that protect your strength, your independence, and your future. Take care of your body now, so it can take care of you later. If this helped you even a little, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more simple, powerful health insights like this, make sure to subscribe, because sometimes the smallest changes make the biggest difference.